Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's me Diabetic Das, your clinical nutrition dietitian practitioner. Hope you like and subscribe my channel in the first hand. So today's topic is about the potatoes. Okay, most of the time I get to ask from my patients whether a diabetic patient should have a potato or not. But even after inquiring about their history, what they eat, like uh, most of the time, sometimes I used to find it they used to know whether they are diabetic or not. So even after knowing that, they have the history of taking potatoes fry, mashed potatoes, make potato curry and all. Okay, in Assamese tradition, it's like it has to be potato, so it goes everywhere. In bhaji, sabji, boil, curry, it can go anywhere. Okay, so that's why I thought I'll put the topic over here. So I have gone through some journals over there, so I came to learn even, so I thought of sharing that one, that there is a method of cooking also depends on how your a potato after taking it can rise up your sugar level. Means glycemic index of your potatoes can vary with the varies with your cooking style and the varieties of your potatoes. Okay, so in the local market we have available red potatoes and your white potatoes, and seasonally you will get to have small, very tiny potatoes as well. Okay, so in this session we will try to know what type of potatoes we should select for diabetic patient, and what should be the method of cooking for that. Okay, and how much amount can be given. Okay, so let's start with the white potatoes. Okay, so white potatoes, actually it's a type of potatoes that is seasonally available, and these potatoes actually contains more of your amylose content, less of amylopectin. Okay, so more is the amylose content, that is your I can say about the resistance charge content is high. So what will happen, so it will escape our digestion system, then it will act as a fiber. So we know the fiber helps to reduce our sugar level. Okay, and if I say about the red potatoes, it has a as compared to white potatoes, it has more of amylopectin than amylose. Okay, so and it has some sugars as well. So whenever you eat, when the season comes for potato, you get to have the sweet taste after mashing or frying it. Most of the time, some people like it, some people don't like it. Okay, so then so that's why it may increase your sugar level. Okay, and we will say about our small potatoes. Okay, small potatoes is moderate in nature. Okay, uh, and we can say it's a very tiny in nature, so you used to have it with skin. We don't peel out the skin, so that skin and the vitamin C in the upper surface remain intact, so can be helpful. Okay, but depends on how much they can be taken. Okay, so let's come to the cooking style. Okay, so cooking style may vary glycemic index, so different kind of cooking styles have. I'm seeing the journal is like baking. Okay, baking, freezing, pan boiling. Okay, so these are the things that can be taken consideration. Like if I want to have a potato, okay, in a diabetic patient, let's say, so if you are pan boiling it, the cellular structure is not get deteriorated so much, so our immune system enzyme cannot extract those glucose from it or break down the sugars, so it will act as a fiber as well. And if I say about a frying, okay, so frying actually, because it's we will be dipping in oil, so it's actually deteriorated cellular nature, so our human enzyme can penetrate into it, so extract the glucose, so it will increase your sugar level obviously if you fry it potato. So french fries and all those boiling then frying it obviously will rise up your sugar level. Okay, then we'll go for that is your pressure cooking is shown to have a highest glycemic index. Okay, if you pressure cooking at a potato, whatever it can be white potato, green red potato or small potato. If you pressure cook it, the tendency of the we say destructure of the cellular membranes and all, it get more. So the tendency to raise up to sugar is more. So I don't think so it will be a very good method to apply for a diabetic patient. Okay, so and let's go for combination type of method. Okay, so if you are boiling a potato, okay, then go for chilling. Okay, or let it be cool, then can be taken as well, because it will start into a resistance charge. Okay, because after this one there will be chemical changes, if you keep in a cooling system, it will changes the chemical system, then it will start into a resistance charge, be it a white potato or red potato. So in some studies they have said that red potato, after boiling, if the chilled, they tend to have a lower glycemic index as compared to white potatoes. And if I say about white potatoes, okay, so they are good in nature, but obviously if you directly pressure cook it or directly fry it, obviously you tend to give more sugars in your system. Okay, and if you say about small potatoes we generally tend to have with skin, so you will be adding roughages to your food. So obviously if you eating the limited amount, so let's go for amount now. So if your sugars are less than 200, like I would say 150, and randomized sugar 160, okay, then this is a pretty normal level for a sugar patients. Then you can have mixed methods like boiling and chilling, or maybe pan boiling. Okay, or you can add those things in a mixed vegetable. Okay, so quantity I would say maybe 50 to 100 grams, not more than that, because obviously if you're getting too much, obviously it will affect your sugar level. Okay, so if you're taking a small potatoes, you can mix in your other vegetables as well, or just boil it, okay, with skin, then chill it, okay, or adding frying after cooling. Okay, then after frying you should not eat it very hot, because the temperature also play important role in the glycemic index. If you eat anything hot, obviously we like hot, obviously in winters we tend to love hot things. So but yes, it will increase your sugar level to a some certain extent. And if I say about other potatoes also will be same. And if I say about the green potatoes you will be getting some green potatoes even in the bucket. Okay, so that is not fully ripened, so it has a chemical compound which will cause harm to your body. So those potatoes which in green in nature, try to avoid it. Okay, and if we go about the baking system, okay, baking also tend to have a less glycemic index, so we're going to go for baking of potatoes, but obviously limited quantity. So baked potatoes I would not recommend, not more than 20 to 30 grams. Okay, too much quantity obviously tend to rise up your sugar level. And let's go for another method, that is adding of your I would say about acid. Okay, vinegar, okay, or any kind of your citrus nature, maybe tekra or jolpai, or those local fruits which is citrus in nature. So if you add your boiled potato and add citrus fruit, okay, then have it, because the citric acid what tend to do is, after while cooking you add citrus fruit, it tend to cover up the cellular membrane and it doesn't get denatured, okay, the cell membrane. So your starch content is just starch content remains a little bit as intact. Okay, so if you taking potatoes, you can go for making along with your citrus fruit, or maybe boiling it, adding a few drops, or round not say drops, maybe 1 or 2 teaspoon of orange juice, or maybe lemon juice, or maybe takara juice. Then you can have it. Maybe your sugar will not spike up as other method of cooking. Okay, so that can be another method. Then obviously vinegar also will do the same thing. Okay, and if I go for car, okay, sodium bicarbonate, then obviously we add the car or soda for to hasten the method of cooking. So actually it with the thiamine content of potato also will be destroyed in the same pace. And then also vitamin C content also will be degraded, and obviously after adding the car, obviously it will go very faster. Okay, then what will happen, it may give you an increase in your blood sugar after cooking your potatoes with alkali in nature. Okay, so now it's your choice how you want to take your potatoes. Obviously you like and subscribe and share my videos so that people will have an idea which potatoes to choose and how much to choose. Obviously if your sugars are more than 200, I will not recommend any potatoes for now and then, because it will give you a high sugar level. Okay, be aware which we choose. And yes, of here, if you like my channel, you can comment also in my channel box. Thank you so much for subscribe. Okay, thank you so much. Have a nice day.